We turn now to the 1,400 Kellogg's workers who've remained on strike for over 2 months, demanding fair wages and better working conditions. Last week, Kellogg said it would start replacing striking workers with permanent hires after a tentative 5-year agreement with the company was rejected by an overwhelming majority of Kellogg's cereal plant workers. The deal would have provided 3% raises. Kellogg's announcement drew backlash from across the country, with many demanding a boycott of Kellogg's products in solidarity with striking workers. On Friday, President Biden tweeted, "I am deeply troubled by reports of Kellogg's plans to permanently replace striking workers. Permanently replacing striking workers is an existential attack on the union and its members' jobs and livelihoods. I strongly support legislation that would ban that practice," President Biden said. Workers at plants in Michigan, Nebraska, Pennsylvania, and Tennessee have been on strike since October. They make all of the company's most popular brands of cereal, including Fruit Loops and Frosted Flakes. For more, we go to Memphis, Tennessee, where we're joined by Kevin Bradshaw, president of Local 252G, a striking Kellogg's worker who's worked for the company for 20 years. Welcome to Democracy Now!, Kevin. Can you talk about what's at stake in the strike and the rejection of the contract that was up for vote?
Yeah, what's at stake? Thank you for having me, first of all. What's at stake is that 3% raise that the company is talking about and bragging about. That raise is not for everybody. I mean, we're fighting for equal pay and equal benefits. If we were to agree to anything that the company has, certain employees, newer employees, still wouldn't have the same opportunity as myself to be able to retire with the same pension, the same benefits, the same insurance, in order to provide a livelihood for them families that we all are able to provide. So we're fighting for equal pay and equal benefits, regardless of what the company's putting out there. And trying to replace us is something that they're using as a scare tactic, because we know they can't hire enough people to replace us to do a skilled job. So it's another scare tactic from a greedy company.
And Kevin Bradshaw, could you talk about the conditions at Kellogg? Some employees were working as much as 80 hours a week.
Yeah, we've been working 7 days a week, 12, 16 hours a day. And we're asking the company, if you're going to work us the same, do you need to pay us the same? And we're trying to get, some relief on that, as far as different things inside our language that allow people to be off, like FMLA and stuff like that, where they're not trying to circumvent FMLA and make you use up all your vacation, and saying that you can't be off with your family, you can't take care of a loved one or yourself. So it's a lot of different things on the table that we're trying to fight for as working conditions. And also we're fighting for, to keep jobs in America. We have job security. We have jobs going overseas, offshore to Mexico, because, the company wants to pay less for more work. So we're fighting a very greedy company right now.
And this threat of a possible replacement of the strikers, this was a big tactic back in the 90s and early 2000s of employers, but it had subsided somewhat. What about this issue of permanent replacement?
Well, the company has been, we got several different ULP charges against the company, because they have been bargaining in bad faith. They've been calling employees at home, trying to get them to get out the union and come back across the picket line. They literally said that if you get out the union, you can come back to work. So that's one of the other scare tactics. And then just the announcement of the 1,400 jobs. It's just another kick in the face to scare people, because they know it's a hardship right now with no job, no income for over 2 months, and right around the holidays where you want to spend time and money with your family and your loved ones. So it's a very evil tactic. Evil doesn't sleep.
Talk about the significance, Kevin Bradshaw, of the President of the United States condemning Kellogg's, announcing that they might hire replacement workers, essentially scabs.
That is major, because when the POTUS stands up and stands with the working people in America that makes this company millions after millions on $380 million in 9 months, it lets the whole nation know that the working people, the working class and unions built America. And that's the very reason why we have a president that's supporting labor, and we just want to continue supporting labor, him and his whole administration. And that's just the right thing to do.
And can you talk about the demographics of the workers at the striking plants, the racial breakdown?
Well, the racial breakdown, we have a plant here, my plant here in Memphis. We are predominantly African-American. Other plants are probably more diverse with, I would say, maybe 30%, some a little bit more. We have Omaha, we have Pennsylvania, we got Battle Creek, Michigan. So it's a lot of diversity amongst the plants. Some just have more demographic makeup than others, but Memphis is probably the the most predominantly black plant out of all 4 plants.
And in terms of what you're asking of the public, because obviously Kellogg is a name known across America, it has been for decades in terms of its products. What are you asking in terms of the public?
We ask you not to buy Kellogg, not to buy Kellogg cereal. Look for the BCTGM logo on the side of the box. I mean, and we're not making cereal right now. So any cereal you see, it shouldn't have that logo on it. So those are scab cereals. And those are replacement workers who can't do a job and don't care about the job that they're doing, trying to supply a food chain to feed our American people. And we take pride in those jobs, but they're union jobs.
Kevin, as we begin to wrap up, the company, Kellogg's, is saying, we've made every effort to reach a fair agreement, including making 6 offers to the union throughout negotiations, all of which have included wage and benefit increases for every employee. It appears the union created unrealistic expectations for our employees. Can you respond to that and also tell us what Kellogg's makes? Talk about the products that many people have on their breakfast tables and through the day. Right.
First of all, those 6 things that they say they offer, those are just their own opinion, because we're just asking them to be fair. To ask for a company just to pay their people equal pay and equal benefits and insurance is not enough. I mean, it's not a whole lot when you're making records after record-breaking profits every year. So we're just asking the company to be fair. They're saying that they're not realistic because I guess it's unrealistic to treat people fair. As far as the profits and everything that they're making, I mean, and the products, I mean, we make in Memphis, we make Corn Flakes, Frosted Flakes, Apple Jacks, Fruit Loops, Rice Krispies, Cinnamon Rice Krispies, Frosted Rice Krispies, Vanilla Rice Krispies. I mean, we make a plethora of all the cereal brands. We make a lot of different other things as far as snacks are concerned, as far as your potato chips, your Pringles, the list goes on as far as Pop-Tarts, Eggo waffles. I mean, and they own so many different other companies. I don't even think we have the time to go through the list of companies that they actually own. So Kellogg's is a very profitable company. In the 100 years they've been in business, they never operated in the red. So it's a lot.
Well, I want to thank you, Kevin, for joining us. Kevin Bradshaw, president of the local 252G in Memphis, Tennessee, striking Kellogg's worker who's worked for the company for 20 years. We'll continue with this theme, and next up, we'll look at the wave of union drives in labor organizing with labor historian Nelson Lichtenstein, author of State of the Union, A Century of American Labor. Stay with us.